Hello everyone and welcome to Armstrong in the Loop podcast. I'm your host, Seth Prentice. Today we are going to talk about a great organization that's been in the community for 75 years, and that is the Connoquenessing Valley Community Chest. And I am joined today by board member George Villegas. George, welcome to the show.
Well, thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
George, I know that your organization is vital to the community, but you know what? I just don't know enough about it. So let's begin. What is the Connoquenessing Valley Community Chest?
We're actually an organization. We're a nonprofit, and what we do is we have a campaign every year that we run, typically from around September, October through February. And what we do is we solicit donations from both the residents of the communities as well as the businesses, and that money is used to support organizations within the community that help the community. It could be anything from, for example, the community park or other organizations, and that's where the money goes.
And I know just by going over your website, the community chest used to be the Zelienople Harmony Community Chest, but now it truly encompasses the organizations and communities that you serve as Zelienople, Harmony, Lancaster, and Jackson Townships, which that makes up a pretty big chunk of the local area.
That's correct. Yeah, it's I don't know what the numbers are as far as the demographics, but I do know that the organizations that we support through our efforts, which are the Community Park, Southwest Butler Food Cupboard, Parents in Toto, that's here in Zelienople, and then also the Zelienople Public Library. They support those communities you mentioned, and so we make sure that who we support is able to support the entire community.
So what is the makeup of your organization, and how can people help? Who can help? Volunteers, please feel free to share that with us.
Well, as far as I can tell you that currently the volunteers are board members and a few additional volunteers. So it's probably about 10, 11 individuals. And what we do is we go out to the community. We start our campaign effort with a newsletter, and in that newsletter we mentioned that we're starting our campaign. We send out a brochure to the residents of the area as well as some businesses, and we start our soliciting of the businesses in particular. And as I mentioned, the brochures go out to the residents, and through that it starts the campaign. We have, of course, our website, as well as just recently we started our Facebook page. And so we're trying to reach out to as many people around here that can help to support.
And I think the best part about this is, what is your campaign goal?
This year our campaign goal is $45,000.
That's amazing.
It's when we set the goal, we look at who we're supporting, what they need, what the experience that we've had over the years. And so, we try and set something that's realistic, but also stretch ourselves to make sure that we're out there on the street trying to get those funds. And frankly, the community is really fantastic. Every year in and year out, they help us meet that goal. We haven't missed that goal, and as far as the time that I've been here, so that's really nice.
Well, and 2019, 2020 is going to be no different, I hope. As that's a large number, but that's great that you've hit it all these years.
Actually, as of 2 weeks ago, the last total that I can give, we were at $11,800 already, and we have a few months to go. So we're right where we need to be, but of course every penny helps. And so we're always looking for new businesses or individuals willing to help.
Well, and I'm sure you heard the news that the Southwest Butler Food Cupboard recently suffered a loss of their deep freezer. went bad one night and they didn't catch it, and they lost a lot of food that could have provided meals for the community. Community has come together to step up and help, but that just goes, what you do is vital for some of these organizations, because they can't just go and get $10,000 out of anywhere. You're providing assistance that is life-changing.
Well, that's true, and yes, when we heard that was pretty disheartening to see what happened to the food cupboard. I will tell you, past experience also shows that as the money has come in, there's been times when we've had the opportunity to assist. For example, the public library one year when their funds were so short that perhaps without the assistance we were able to give them, they would have had to close down. So, it is nice when we have that opportunity. And the fact is, I really believe the reason why the community helps as much as they do is they realize that it's really making an impact on the community at large, but for themselves, the people that use the community park, families and individuals that use the library. Also, Parents in Toto Resource Center just does some fantastic work here in the area. So.
To be around for 75 years, you have to be doing something that people believe in. And, not only do you have 4 great organizations that you're helping to support, but I think it's also an accomplishment of your board members and volunteers that their belief in what, the community chest is doing is worthwhile.
Yeah, I believe so. It's, I kind of equate it to something that at least personally in my family, we like to do, and that's actually we like watching Hallmark movies, and so one of the things I heard the other day at the parade in town for the Christmas parade, someone said, I feel like I'm in a Hallmark movie, and that really says a lot about our community. It's very friendly. It's just a tight-knit community, and it year in and year out. It shows by the donations they give, so we just encourage people to continue to do that.
And I know through donating, there are incentives to people if they hit certain levels. Can you tell us more about that?
Yes. In fact, a few years ago, we started a partnership with the Springfield Restaurant Group. It started with the local restaurant, the Log Cabin Inn. And what we started to do is when people reach a donation point of $250 to $499, then the Springfield Restaurant Group, they have given us certificates that we can give out. So we have $25 gift certificates for that amount, and then anything over $500 would be a $50 gift certificate.
And the restaurants that are included in the Springfield group are?
There's quite a few. The Log Cabin, as I mentioned. There's Springfield Grill. There's 2 of those. The Iron Bridge, Rachel's Roadhouse. There's quite a few.
Oh, that's amazing. That's a great partnership, and kudos to the Springfield Restaurant Group, because that's a phenomenal offering. Normally, when you just donate, you donate, but they're giving something back for the support. Anything else, George, that you'd like to share with us today that we might have missed, or just your own personal experience?
Every year we're always looking for additional volunteers. If anyone is interested and has that desire to help out, contact us. We can go ahead and meet with them and put them on either on a board or the volunteer staff. And there's a lot to do. So with a few hands, it makes light work.
And we greatly appreciate your efforts, your board efforts, and your volunteers. So thank you so much for joining us today, and I hope you reach your goal again for this coming year.
Thank you, Seth. I appreciate the time and the opportunity.
For Armstrong in the Loop podcast, I'm Seth Prentice, keeping you in the loop. Are you enjoying Armstrong in the Loop podcast? Great news! All past and current episodes are available on popular streaming apps and websites. Search Armstrong in the Loop podcast and subscribe today.